Hey guys, Nick Trigili here from Generation Iron. You're watching the Bodybuilding Coach, where we talk about training, supplements, and nutrition. On this week's episode, it's going to be a training episode. I'm going to talk about your flexor muscles and your extensor muscles throughout your body. But most importantly, we're going to talk about your forearms today. As we know, your body's made up of hundreds and hundreds of flexor muscles and extensor muscles. But primarily, I want to talk about your forearms and how important they are and how important it is to train them. So first, why should we train your forearms? Don't they get enough training, secondary and, from doing back, chest, shoulders, arms? No, because just like anything else, you're going to have a muscle imbalance if you don't train them. And what happens when you have a muscle imbalance? Injuries, pain, nagging injuries and pains just don't go away, ailments, and then eventually you get tendonitis, arthritis, and etc. down the road. How do we avoid that, Nick? Well, how do you avoid is that you do a little bit of extensor work and a little bit of flexor work each day, and this comes into like a daily routine like brushing your teeth. And I know this might sound crazy to everybody, but if you're an athlete, you're a bodybuilder, or you're somebody that's into fitness, you should always just make sure these are in check, because without these muscles on your forearm, you guys are done. You can't do anything. You can't do a pull-up, you can't do a push-up, you can't put your clothes on. So if these lock up or have really severe pain, your whole day is going to be ruined. It's not just your workout, it's your entire day-to-day life will be ruined if you jack up your flexor or your extensor muscles. So people always laugh at me in the gym, like, Nick, you've trained your forearms so much, shouldn't they be a lot bigger? Or, Nick, you train your forearms, why do you care so much? Blah, 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 blah. It's not a visual thing for me. Okay, I'm not training my forearms to have big forearms. Honestly, I don't want big forearms. I think it looks weird. I'm not trying to be Popeye, okay? And plus, if you have bigger forearms, and your biceps and triceps look smaller. So why would you want to do that? But no, in all seriousness, you have to train them, stretch them, just like anything else. And most people, I guarantee 90%, and I'm going to go shoot for a very high number, don't even train their forearms, don't even think about training their forearms. Okay? I'm going to talk about another muscle group too, another video that you guys probably don't train. But now, just breaking down your forearms for you in a quick video about your extensors and flexor muscles, this is going to open your horizon to everything else in your body and treat your body much differently than you normally would. And start looking for your flexor muscles in your body everywhere else and your extensor muscles everywhere else in your body. Right. You guys might have never heard those terms before. Now, it's not because you guys are lacking your knowledge on anatomy or anything like that. It's because these are very, very little, small, intricate muscles that do a lot, though. And they mean a lot. So if you do hurt them, you're going to feel it. And if you don't have them, you're not going to be able to do anything. So first thing is, Nick, how do I just maintain healthy forearms so that I don't have to run into any problems with my extensor or flexor muscles? Well, first thing in the morning is always stretch them out, okay? Just light palm stretches, pulling them each way. Make sure they're nice and limber. Make sure they're getting stretched and staying limber just like anything else. Make sure that you have full range of motion all the time. I'm not talking about cracking your wrist or knuckles or anything like that. I mean just literally just stretching them, okay? I guarantee they're extremely tight, especially if you're a bodybuilder or a woman that trains heavy. You're going to be very tight all the time. You can also do this against the wall. I can't go through all the stretches on here because obviously I can't demonstrate them all. I won't have enough time. But look up extensor stretches and flexor stretches. Secondly, make that part of your routine every day. Just even if you're not training, stretch them out, keep them healthy, keep them feeling good. Then in the gym, lightly train them. It does not need to be something heavy, ever, okay? Now, when I tell you don't train with heavy weights with other body parts, that's relative, right? I mean, you guys can all do your certain weights in the gym. Some people can squat 405, some people squat 225. This, I mean, no, at any point, do not go over 5 to 10 pounds, ever. And 10 pounds is a lot on anything you do with these. It's all about the range of motion and having the proper range of motion. Because now, if you're going to do these incorrectly, it's going to lead to more problems. So now I'm going to tell you something to make yourself healthier. And if you're not doing it properly, it's going to lead to even more problems because now you're just training the body to be incorrect. When before, you weren't training at all, so it was not that bad. Now you're training to be incorrect. It's going to just speed everything up to make everything even worse, even faster. That was to come. So make sure you're always doing the proper range of motion with these and proper exercises, very strict form. Which I can't go over on here. I'm going to make you guys enlightened to it so you guys go research it. But quick things is make sure you're doing full range of motion all the time. Make sure it's squeezable, it's light enough that you can feel it. And it's just to go through the motion. Like you're doing 20, 30, 40 reps with it. How often should I do this now? Well, I say 2 to 3 times a week. depending on how strict your training regimen is. And that's not because you should dedicate 10 minutes every workout. I mean, literally 5 minutes it can take you. Like maybe 15 minutes a week as a whole training them, okay? And that's not a lot. Now think about it. If you keep these healthy, right? It's like the foundation of your home. You build a house, you want a solid foundation of concrete or whatever you build it on, right? You don't want to build it on like, 2x4s and things that are going to rot and break, things that don't last very long, right? You want something that's going to be there forever so that the top of the house stays healthy because the bottom's healthy. Now, without your forearms, can you imagine this? Cut these off. What are you going to do with yourself? So you don't want to have injuries here. That's the last thing you want to do is have an injury in your forearm, your flexor, extensor muscles. Last thing is you want pain. It's going to just affect your day-to-day life. And the last thing is you don't want to be out of the gym. So a little nagging injury like tendonitis, arthritis, people have restless arm syndrome. They have anything, any symptom that can go on with your hands and arms is what you want to avoid. So by training them in the gym just for literally 5 minutes, 3 times a week, it's gonna prolong your career, not much longer. And also, it's gonna make you stronger in the day. Because what happens is having muscle imbalances anywhere are always gonna prohibit you from getting to the next level. So just like training your calves and your tibias, just like training your glutes, just like training your hips, just like training your quads and the hamstrings, not just your quad. You don't ever want body part to be stronger than another. You want things to be equal across the plane. So if you did a scan of your body, you want your whole body to be pretty much in the same green area as strength-wise. You don't want something to be really strong, something really weak, because that's when injuries happen. That's when pain starts happening, and that's when the career starts coming to an end because you're getting lazy with things. Keep it in your routine weekly, and I guarantee more results for you. And I'm not saying you're going to have the best forearms in the world, but you will stay away from injuries, and I guarantee your lifts will get stronger. This is Nick Trigili. Thanks for listening on Generation Iron. Make sure you guys subscribe and like if you haven't. And make sure you guys follow me at Nick World Class on Instagram. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.